6 surgeons, 4 locations, 1 goal: to improve the health and lives of people in Oklahoma. At Oral and Maxillofacial Associates, we treat every patient like family. As the preferred dental implant and oral surgery specialist of the Oklahoma City Thunder, and with over 30 years of service to our community, we are trusted by professionals and dedicated to expert care. With 4 convenient locations around the metro area, we are here for you. Trust the experts at OMA. Visit our website, www.omaok.com.
Hello and welcome, football fans, to the Squirtle Pay Dirt Pick'em Show. I am your host, Andy Campbell. Before we start tonight, we're going to give a special shout out to Tom Nelson, who is undergoing a stem cell transplant this week. We'll share Tom's picks throughout the show tonight. But Tom, we're praying for you. Hope to have you back as soon as possible. We have Mark Rogers and Sean Meek on the show tonight. Sean's stepping in for Tom Nelson. And 2 very special guests. We have Coach Mark Van Meter and Mr. Jordan Davis. Coach V, a retired teacher, coach, and administrator in Northwest Oklahoma, had a long and distinguished career at Ames and O'Keene and Fairview. Jordan Davis was born and raised in Chicago, then attended North Carolina A&T State University, where he served as a sports editor for the student newspaper there. Jordan has covered Duke men's basketball, NC State football, before joining the Oklahoman as a high school sports reporter. Jordan, welcome to the show. Pleasure having you on for the first time.
Appreciate you guys for having me. It's always fun coming on and talking some football, especially now this week with all the scenarios and stuff heading into week 10 in the playoffs. So appreciate you guys for having me on.
Absolutely. Hard to believe it's already week 10. We have 2 Squirtle games of the week this week. Dewar at Caddo, that's a school network game of the week, and then Fairview at Cashion. Mark Rogers and Adam Dieselhorst will be on the call in Cashion for that matchup. We're going to discuss our 8 network games and then our 4 of the best out-of-network games in the state of Oklahoma, as we always do. So let's go ahead and kick it off. We're going to start the show off in 4A District 4 with Coach Brandon Tyler's Sallisaw team, who is 5-1 in district play, along with Broken Bow and Ada. The Black Diamonds host the Ada Cougars this Friday, whose only district loss is on the road at Broken Bow. Mark Rogers, who gets the win in Sallisaw on Friday?
This is a really tough one to pick, and we had an upset last week when Hilldale beat Poteau after Poteau had knocked off Sallisaw the week before. So that makes some of the district scenarios more interesting with Broken Bow, Sallisaw, and Ada all up there at the top. And so tiebreakers are going to matter based on who's beating who head-to-head. By the way, you said Coach B had a long and distinguished career. You have to have a long career if you coach at Ames. I don't know if that place has been open. When did it close?
I think it closed in
Don't worry. You don't. That's okay. You don't have to tell us. You don't have to tell us.
All right.
I'm going with Sallisaw. I think it'll be a really, really high-scoring game. Karan Richardson from Ada has been running up and down the field on everybody. But I think Sallisaw playing at home, that'll be the difference in this one.
Coach Meek.
Now, this has been one of the most fun districts to keep track of throughout the year. We saw Sallisaw and Hilldale earlier in the year. That was a great game. So many good teams at the top of that district. But I really like Sallisaw's style. I just like what they do. A really physical team. They're able to run the ball. So I'm going to take Sallisaw. I think they're going to get it done and have a chance to win the district this week.
All right, Ada at Sallisaw. Jordan Davis.
Oh, I think like you guys kind of talk about, I mean, from what I know it's going to be a very close game. Like you said, I know Sallisaw is a really good team as far as running the ball goes with Harris and Adams with that duo that they have, as well as Ada. I mean, I know Kason Richardson and Brock Royals have been really big for their run games and their overall offense as well. But I think, like you guys said, I think I'm going to go with the home team here, and I believe Sallisaw will pull it off, in my opinion.
Coach V.
For the record, those 3 years I spent at Ames were some of the funnest times I ever had coaching basketball and softball, but good times. But last I checked, I don't know a lot about Ada and Sallisaw. I know they're in a tough district with Broken Bow and Poteau, and I know Ada, last time I checked, had won, I think, more state football championships than any school in the state of Oklahoma. However, Sallisaw, I know Brandon Tiller is their coach now. He was at Gore. Fairview played Gore a couple of years ago in the state finals, and I was very impressed with them. I think I'm going to take Sallisaw.
All right, entire panel taking Sallisaw Black Diamonds for the win. Let's go to District 3A1 for our next pick'em game. Kingfisher is 4-2 and currently tied for third in that district. The Yellow Jackets will travel to Plainview to take on the number 2 team in that district, the Plainview Indians. Plainview is 5-1 in district play, with its only loss coming to district champ Heritage Hall. Mark Rogers, who gets the win in Plainview?
Plainview had a close call with North Rock Creek last week. Kingfisher had a close call at Anadarko. I'm gonna go with Plainview. I'll go with the home team over the Yellow Jackets.
Sean Meek.
Well, it looks like this is shaping up to probably be for the 2 seed in that district. And both these teams have had some close losses this year. When you just kind of look at comparative scores, common opponents, things like that, both these teams have played some really tough teams, really close in their losses this year. Mark kind of referenced, Plainview having that close game against North Rock last week. Kingfisher was in a dogfight against Anadarko last week. So I think there's going to be a super competitive game. Probably just come down to who gets some turnovers, things like that. Just seems like it's shaping up to be one of those games. But I'm going to take Plainview at home just to get it done, probably by a narrow margin.
Now, Coach V, in 1999, the Fairview Yellow Jackets hosted Plainview in the 3rd round of the playoffs.
Yes, we did. Packed house, and Plainview came up short.
You probably can't repeat your pregame locker room speech on this show. It's a family show, but if you want to take us through that.
Adam said we could say whatever we wanted to because this was pre-recorded, so I could, but I better not.
Fair enough. Kingfisher at Plainview, Coach.
Well, I understand the loser of this game gets to go to Sulphur, so I think that'd be some incentive to want to win this game. I wouldn't want to go play Sulphur in the first round of the playoffs. I do know that Kingfisher is a dang good 6-3 team, one of the best 6-3 teams in the state. And I know they've got a Wardlaw on the sideline and a Roof on the sideline calling offense and defense. That's a pretty good combination. I'll take the Jackets.
Jordan Davis, let's go to you.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with a lot of what you guys have said. Just seeing, from afar, just how Scott Pratt is, Coach Pratt has put that team together and how they really responded since that Heritage Hall loss earlier in the year and winning 5 of their last 6. I think I'm going to go with Plainview as well.
And I'm falling off on my duties. I forgot to give Tom and Jacob's picks for the first game, Ada at Sallisaw. Both of them took Ada. Second game, Kingfisher at Plainview. Both are taking Plainview. So let's go to pick'em game number 3. We're going to drop all the way down to 8-man football in Class C to discuss a huge matchup in District C1. The Timberlake Tigers and Tyrone Bobcats are both undefeated in district play and have looked really impressive all year. Coach Meek, we're going to start with you. Who wins the district title in C1 on Friday?
District C1 title up for grabs in Tyrone on Friday night. 2 really good teams, Andy, like you said. When you look at Timberlake, they're just really tough to bet against this time of year. Coach Severin always has his guys ready to go, and it just seems like they always find a way to win games. Timberlake's lone loss coming this year in a 1-score game to a really good Pioneer Class B team that'll probably make a deep run in Class B. 2 really good teams, but again, just have a hard time betting against the Tigers on this one. So I'm going to take them going all the way out to Tyrone and getting it done on the road to win the district title.
Mark?
189 miles from Tyrone to Helena. So that's what we'll call for Timberlake. That's virtually the same distance as it was to drive from Knoxville to Nashville. So that's a long way. By the way, is there a Bon Iver concert tonight, or did Jake get another suspension? You guys will have to answer that for me later. But I'll take that one off the air. I'm going with Timberlake. This game was 52-18 last year. I think Tyrone will have the home field advantage that could make it a little bit closer than it was last season. But I'll go with the Tigers.
And Jordan, I know some of these teams are outside the Oklahomans coverage area, but give us your thoughts on Timberlake at Tyrone.
It's crazy. I was about to say what Mark just said about last year when these 2 matched up in a similar situation, and Timberlake was able to come out on top. So I think I'm going to take Timberlake from what I've seen so far.
Coach V.
Well, I think regardless of the outcome of this game, Adam and I were talking earlier, I think Timberlake's 1 and Tyrone's 2 in the district no matter what. I could be wrong on that. And I know I've known Coach Severin a long time. Brian's a heck of a coach. He knows how to win. Maverick Judd, I think, could probably start for Bixby and or whoever, wherever he was, he could probably play for anybody. But I'll take Timberlake.
All right, entire panel taking Timberlake Tigers in that matchup. We're going to stay in Class 8-man, I'm sorry, in 8-man football, Class B2 District 3, where district title is up for grabs in Cherokee on Friday. Cherokee and Waukomis are both undefeated in district play. Mark Rogers, who wins in Cherokee?
This will be the first district title in Cherokee since 2020. I don't know when the last district title was in Waukomis. It's been a while. You guys might know. I think Cherokee will win this year. Should be a really good game, but I'll go with Chiefs.
Sean Meek.
Yeah, Cherokee looked really good last week. We talked about them last week on the show. Big matchup with Coyle last week, and they ended up blowing them out, running away with that. Cherokee looks really tough. Waukomis has had a really good year. Class B District 2, or excuse me, Class B2 District 3 championship on the line. I think Cherokee Chiefs are going to get it done at home. I think they'll end up kind of running away with this one late.
Jordan Davis.
Yeah, I think I'm also going to go with Cherokee. I know that they have Trey Green. I know he's been playing some good football for them the past few years, well, the past year or so, including this year. So I think Cherokee will be able to come out on top in that one.
Coach B.
I'm like Sean. I think Waukomis has had a very good year this year. I saw him play O'Keene earlier in the year at O'Keene. One of the most physical 8-man football games I've seen in a while. But I think the Chiefs win this one.
Both Tom and Jacob taking Timberlake and Cherokee. So entire panel again on the same side for these matchups. We'll go to pick'em game number 5 in Class A2 District 3 for our next game. Regent Prep at Wewoka. Regent Prep is currently on the outside looking in on the playoff picture. Needs a win at Wewoka on Friday to get into the playoffs. Wewoka Tigers are 4-2 in district play and currently locked in that number 3 seed. Mark, which team gets to win in Wewoka on Friday?
Wewoka's played good. I had a chance to watch a little bit of them on the stream when they played at Tallahena, and they were competitive in the first half of that game. Tough place to play against a really good team. Shout out to their crew. They do a great job on all their game production. And so it's always fun to watch that broadcast and all the things that the students do there. So I'm going to go with the Tigers over the Rams.
Sean Meek.
Yeah, what you said, Andy. Regent needs this game to keep their playoff hopes alive. Like you said, they're on the outside looking in, sitting at that 5th seed right now. So they're going to be fired up, ready to play. They got a lot to play for in that locker room. So they'll come out and they'll play hard. I just don't think it's going to be enough. I think Wewoka is a little stronger. So playing at home, I'm gonna take Wewoka over Regent.
Coach Van Meter.
Bill Denton was a superintendent there at Wewoka for last several years. I don't think he's there anymore. He was my high school principal here at Fairview. Great guy. I know a little bit about what's going on at Wewoka. They've kind of bounced back and are having some pretty good years the last few years and having a good year this year. But I think Regent is too much for them this year. I'll take Regent.
Jordan.
I'll probably go with Coach Boswell and Wewoka. I know, they have a really talented receiver and running back named Bill Stevens. He's had a pretty good big year from them, from what I've heard and what I've seen online. And I know Regent has lost 3 of the last 4. I know it hasn't been against teams like Wewoka. I mean, as good as Wewoka, but I think I'm going to take Wewoka.
Jacob Dieselhorst taking Regent Prep, 52-32. Tom Nelson taking Wewoka. All right, we'll go to pick'em game number 6. We're going to stay in A2 for our next pick'em game in District 4. Hominy very likely to win that district, but the winner of this Woodland-Fairland game will host a playoff matchup next week. Both teams 4-1 in that district. Sean Meek, who gets the win with Woodland at Fairland?
Yeah, fighting for the 2 seed in Class A2 District 4. This looks to be a really, really competitive game. Should be a lot of fun. I picked Woodland last week. I'll pick them again. I think this game could definitely go either way. Kind of, again, one of those games that you expect to come down to just somebody making a big play, who can kind of control the ball, eliminate turnovers, things like that. So I think this game is really, really tough to pick. But I took Woodland last week. They played really well, so I'm going to take them to keep that momentum going and get it done versus Fairland.
Tom Nelson also taking Woodland. Mark Rogers?
I sent a text to Coach Ryan Laverty at Fairland just to kind of get a lay of the land and what was going on. No response back. But Fairland's got a really good group of athletes coming through right now. They had a good basketball team last year. They've really turned it around in football this year to go 7-2. If you do the transitive property and look at the games with Hominy, I mean, one was an 18-point game, one was a 16-point game. So that really doesn't give you any clue. But by virtue of the no text back, I'm going with Woodland.
Jordan.
I think I'm gonna go Woodland as well. Playing some really good football recently. I know that they have a good duo with Peyton Snow and I believe the Peyton Snow is their quarterback and Jackson Terry, who's been their running back, also catching out the backfield. So I think I'm gonna go with Woodland to be able to go on the road and beat Fairland in this one.
Coach Van Meter.
I know very little about Fairland. I know Woodland last year kind of rolled through the playoffs and didn't really even have a close game, even in the finals, won pretty big. And I saw Woodland play Fairview 2 years ago in the, I think, quarterfinals at, I don't remember where that was, but I was really impressed with them. I think I'll take Woodland.
Jacob Easor's taking Fairland on that matchup. So let's go to our next pick'em game, which is our first Squirtle game of the week. It's a school network game of the week, Class B1 District 4. The Dewar Dragons, 7-2 overall, have dominated opponents since that ceiling loss about a month or so ago. The Caddo Bruins are 9-0, but played a much easier non-district schedule than Dewar. Sean Meek, we're going to start with you. Who wins that district title in Caddo on Friday?
We have Class B1 District 4 title up for grabs, like you said, Andy. Caddo coming in 9-0, Dewar coming in 7-2, but you mentioned that those two losses are two really good teams, losing to Walika and Sealing both on the road, so no shame in either one of those losses. Dewar's a really strong team. Caddo is too. I just think Caddo's probably picking up their first loss of the season this week. It's hard to bet against Dewar. Again, there's one of those teams that always seems to find a way to get it done. So I'll pick Dewar to win the district title going on the road at Caddo.
Tom and Jacob both picking Dewar. Mark Rogers, who are you picking?
I'll go with Dewar. The two losses to Sealing and Walika, no shame in that. So Caddo would have to turn around a 47-0 loss last year. Dewar still has Lewis, and they have Kilhofer back at running back and quarterback. So I think they've got enough, even though they had to replace some people up front. So I will go with the Dragons.
Jordan.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with Dewar. I'm going to go with the defending state champions. One of my favorite players that I got a chance to see last year was Braylon Lewis. And I believe that, like you guys talked about, with the way that, Dewar has the pedigree that they have. And I know Caddo's been playing some good football, but like we already talked about, the schedules aren't the same. And so just give me the pedigree of Dewar and the Dragons, and I'm going with the defending state champions.
Coach V.
I know Caddo is undefeated. I watched Sealing and Dewar a little bit earlier in the season on Squirtle. Like I said, Sealing could beat about anybody. I think Dewar is going to win the game.
All right, entire panel taking the Dragons for that district title, and we're going to go to our second Squirtle game of the week, which takes us to Class A1 District 1. The Fairview Yellow Jackets are 6-0, undefeated in district play, looking to clinch another district title on Friday. Cashion Wildcats are tied for second in that district with a 5-1 record. The only loss coming at Hooker a couple of weeks ago. Mark, you're calling the game with Adam on Friday. Give us a preview.
Well, I don't want to pick this game. I mean, I came on here with the Fairview Mafia, and we've got to go to Cashion on Friday. So this is really, really tough. This one wasn't close last year. Of course, Fairview, a lot of times when you lose a star player like Jax Bernard, people go, oh, well, they're not going to be very good. But Fairview's program is built really, really well. They run well. They're tough. They hit. So I'm really impressed with Coach Bernard and the job that he's done. Cashion has got a bunch of young guys. I think that Cashion, I expect them to be in the mix for the state championship. I think they'll probably be even better next year. It might be the team to beat in the class next season. Rejoice is still pretty tough. So I'm going with Fairview in a close one.
Just for the cookies.
Oh, maybe I will get some cookies on Friday. Yes. I mean, well, this is a toss up when it comes to the food categories because
Yeah.
Cashin is one of the best places to go get something to eat. What kind of burgers are we having? We got I was told there's gonna be a great spread of food there. So
Well, Coach Hardaway usually has sausage on a stick there at the concession stand in Cashin. Highly recommend. So hopefully John will take care of you there.
actually, I'm gonna change my pick to a tie. I think that they might have a tie in this one.
Sean Meek, let's go to you. Fairview at Cashin. Now, this is one of the most intriguing games to pick and look at of the week just because of district, what A1 District 1 looks like with, with a Cashin win. It's got a chance to get really interesting at the top there with a three-way tie, possibly with Cashin, Fairview, and Hooker, and then coming down district points. And that gets a lot of fun when you start looking at that. So both teams playing for a ton. Cashin, Mark said it, they're a really good team. Feel like they're maybe a year away from really, being at the top of Class A. Man, Fairview's still loaded. They're really good. I've seen both of these teams play enough to know how good they both are. But, again, I think Fairview gets it done. Going on the road at Cashin, I'm picking them to win the district title. And I think Fairview's in a short list of 3 or 4 teams, along with some of the other ones you guys have mentioned. Tonkawa, Rejoice, some of those that are going to be contending for the state title. So I will pick the Yellow Jackets to get it done at Cashin.
All right, Coach Van Meter with the jacket sweatshirt on.
Well, I think everybody knows who I'm taking in this one. I know these kids and the coaches pretty well, and there's no program around that can outwork our coaching staff and these kids. I've seen what they do. They're in the weight room every morning, and they're dedicated like no other. And Coach Bernard he's the real deal. And the rumor is that Coach Hardaway might be calling the offensive plays Friday night. And if that's true, then we could be in for a long night. But either way, I'm taking the Jackets to win the game and to be Class A1 district champs.
Jordan Davis, let's go to you. Fairview at Cashin.
Yeah, I've I got a chance to go out to Cashin a few weeks ago and saw, well, not even a few weeks ago, last week, and was able to see what Coach Shackelford has been able to put together this year. I mean, I know it's been a big, rebound from last year, and with the way that Kellen Smith and Ethan Waswell, who's now healthy, it's been pretty fun to see Cashin. And like I said, Coach Shackelford put things together in the first year on that new turf, and Fairview have to come out and play some really good football, which I think they will do. And like you guys just talked about, I think they will become the district champs yet again.
All right, entire panel taking the Fairview Yellow Jackets to get the win on the road in Cashin. Hold on, I've got to check Tom and Jacob's picks here if I can get to them. Tom taking Fairview, and Jacob, the Fairview alum, also taking Fairview Yellow Jackets. All right, those are our 8 Squirtle Network games that you can watch for free on the Squirtle.tv, the Squirtle app. We're going to quickly discuss 4 non-Squirtle Network games. These are games you cannot watch on Squirtle, but these are games of interest around the state of Oklahoma. We're going to start Piedmont at PCO. Mark Rogers.
Yeah, I've seen PC play this year. I know Jordan was at that game as well when they beat Choctaw. Piedmont upset Stillwater last weekend, 21-14. The game between these two teams last year was 21-14. So I think Piedmont has got their defense kind of synced up. I mean, the matchup might favor Putnam City because they are so good on the defensive line. They're really, really tough there. I mean, they're very physical and they can stop a rushing attack. I like their quarterback. I like their running back combination there. And I had written Piedmont down earlier in the day, but I think I'm going to change and go with Putnam City to get the win. And more than likely, that would make Putnam City the district champion.
John Meek.
Yeah, looking at our game lineup today, this is the game I struggled the most with throughout the day, just trying to figure out which way to go. You kind of look at their schedule and what they've done against common opponents and things like that. This is really tough. Kind of with Mark, I've changed my mind 3 or 4 different times looking at this game. My head says Putnam City. I think they're loaded with talent. I think they got all the guys to get it done. But then you see how well Piedmont's playing. So I think it's truly a toss-up. I'm going to pick Putnam City to get it done at home, just find a way, create some plays, things like that. But I'm picking Putnam City to win the game.
Jordan Davis.
I think, like you guys just talked about, Piedmont has been playing some really good football recently. Obviously, we know how Coach Hall does with this wishbone offense that's really caused a lot of these teams that might not have the most, I would say, sizable defensive line to combat it with. We've seen some teams struggle against that, but I don't think Putnam City will be one of those teams. When you look at, Trip Alexander and Keelan Johnson on that defensive line, along with Dejon Ankerson lurking at linebacker. And then I just think Putnam City's offense could really just kick things in a high gear with the way that CJ Turnbull is playing under center. So I think I give me Putnam City to win the district title for the first time in, I believe, almost a decade.
Coach Van Meter.
Well, believe it or not, Piedmont used to be in Fairview's district, and in '97 we were all part of a two-day game at Piedmont. Would go down in history probably, but I'm pretty sure the Yellow Jacks won that night. But I wouldn't want to play them now. I'm taking Putnam City.
All right, let's go Del City at Pryor. Sean Meek.
Yeah, district Class 5A District 4 title up for grabs here at Pryor. This is another really tough game. We got two teams that are undefeated in district. I think Del City's played a tougher schedule this year. I think they're a little more battle tested. Pryor hasn't really had a close game all year. They beat a good Sallisaw team early in the year, 4A team in Sallisaw. I just think Del City's a little more battle tested. I think Del City's going to have a chance to compete with anybody in 5A when it's said and done. So I'm going to pick them to go on the road in Pryor and get a win for the district title.
Mark.
This was not a competitive game last year, 49-12 at Del City. Del City's only loss in the season opener at Edmond is no disgrace there. Brock Ward has been back and playing for a couple of weeks, but he's not been at full strength. Braden Ward, their quarterback, they're twins, has been phenomenal. This is his third year to start. Pryor has not won the district championship since 2011. They've never made a trip to the state championship. I don't even think they've been to the semifinals before. But this team's on a mission. They've been pointing at this game for a long time. Del City, I hate to pick against them because I know how good that they've been, and I think they've been waiting for a challenge for a while now. But I'm going to go with Pryor to win it on the home field.
Jordan.
I think I'm going to go with Del City. Pryor, like you guys just talked about, obviously their schedules haven't been on similar par, but I believe that when you just look at the grand scheme of things, Pryor, like you guys just talked about, Braden Ward, great quarterback, got a chance to see him last year against Newcastle in the playoffs, and he played really well. But I just think when you look at the overall package of Dale City and that defense led by Rickland Holmes and some of the things that they do on offense with Sincere Overton at quarterback and other players, Nick Holmes and a lot of other players that make big plays, I think that Dale City and Coach Jones will be able to come out on top of this one.
Coach V.
I don't know much about either one of these teams, but I'll take Del City.
All right, let's go Metro Christian at Sequoia Tahlequah. Mark Rogers.
Sequoia is a little bit of a surprise this year at 9-0. Metro is not much of a surprise. They were one of the teams that are picked to be in the hunt all season long. And a really, really good Class 2A Division I. Kincaid Ing, their quarterback, good. At Sequoia, I think that they'll be fired up to play this game. It was 49-7 last year. I don't think it's enough there's been enough attrition at Metro to overturn that one. So I'm going to go with Metro to finish undefeated.
Sean.
Another really good district title game. A lot of fun. Week 10, you got so many good games for the district championship. Class 2A is loaded. We've talked about this, and admittedly, I watch more 2A football than any other class. Just a great class, bunch of good teams. But I've said for quite a few weeks now that I think there's three teams that are in a class by themselves that are going to separate themselves in the end. That's Metro Christian, that's Washington, that's Jones. In my opinion, those are the three best teams. And so because of that, I can't pick against Metro Christian here. I think they win the district title and make a deep run into the playoffs. So I will pick Metro over Sequoia.
What about Marlowe on that list, Sean? I know they lost to Washington by a touchdown, but is Marlowe up there for you?
Yeah, they'll definitely be there. We called that game. Mark and I were at that game. Marlowe's loaded too. Just kind of depends when you look at that bracket come out, matchups and things like that. But I definitely think Marlowe is playing at least 3 weeks deep in the playoffs, so they're in that list too.
All right, Metro Christian at Sequoia Tahlequah, Jordan Davis.
Don't know too much about either one of these teams. I haven't got a chance to see Metro Christian play since I've been here for 3 years. But give me Metro Christian just based on the pedigree and I know a lot of their history recently has leaned in their favor. So give me Metro Christian to finish the regular season undefeated.
Coach Van Meter.
I don't know a lot about either one of these teams either. I know Fairview alum Rob Marty's son plays for Metro, so I'm going with Metro.
There you go. All right, last game to pick tonight, Vian at Valiant. Mark Rogers.
It's a battle of the V's. I mean, you don't have two teams starting with the letter V in a district championship matchup very, very often. But first winning season at Valiant since 2018. So they have had a great year. They were expecting good things this season, and they've more than delivered on that. Pretty long trip for Vian to get down there, but I will go with the Wolverines. They play a difficult schedule also, and they feel like I think that they've got some scores to settle. Lost last year in the finals to Davis. So they're a team that certainly has a great chance to win Class 2A Division II this year. I'm going to go with the Wolverines.
Sean Meek.
Vian's loaded. To agree with everything Mark just said, their lone loss this year is a 1-point loss on the road to a really good Kiefer team who's probably going to be quarterfinals or better in 2A. So no shame there. I just think Vian's really good. I think, like Mark said, to agree with him, they got a chance to win 2A too. So they're going to be too much for Valiant. Valiant's had a great year, but not enough to get it done versus the Wolverines on Friday night.
Jordan.
I think I'm also going to go with Valiant. I think you just look at the outlook of this program and how battle tested this team is. And you have Cash Trammell at quarterback, and then Mason Wright, who's one of the most electric players in all of the state at running back. So I think I'm going to take Valiant, especially when you just look at their schedule and how things have played out for them this year.
All right, last pick of the night. You, Coach V, Vian at Valiant.
I'm going to go with everybody on the panel and take Vian. I don't know anything about either one. I know Vian's had a lot of success. I'll take them.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us on the Squirtle Pater Pick'em Show, Week 10 edition. Be sure to tune into Squirtle.tv or the Squirtle app to watch those network games we just discussed for free. Again, Mark Rogers and Adam Dieselhorst calling that great Fairview at Cashion matchup, which should be a really good game on Friday night. Thanks as always to our sponsors and our guests tonight, Jordan Davis, Coach V. You guys are always welcome to come back on the show. Really appreciate having you on tonight. Enjoy Week 10 football, Oklahoma, and we'll see you back next week.